So we've reached the end of the next grading period. We're finishing up. Tomorrow will be the last day of week 6. We have a progress report every 3 weeks, and then when we get to the end of 9 weeks, it's report card time. So we're steadily inching closer to the end of the 9 weeks, right? So I've been telling the classes that, hey, y'all, Friday's into the grading period. Make sure you have all your work turned in. That way, hopefully your average can be updated. Some of you are not happy with what your average is. So I'm letting you know. I've been saying this since last Friday. So for almost an entire week. Today I said it again. Little reminder, beginning of every class and every period. It was like brand new information for a few. Like, what? Oh, what? Where have you been? I've said this before. You should be checking all your grades in all of your classes. Because on Monday, another thing that we did was we were talking about the end of the year celebratory field trip. Because this is a celebratory field trip, it's not education based, there are certain requirements that the students have to meet in order to be eligible to go. One of which is grades, right? Like, are you passing all of your second semester classes by a certain date? And that date coincides with the last day of our current 9 weeks, so right before spring break. And so now I'm reminding everybody of that too, because I know a lot of these kids, they want to go, and I would too if I was in 8th grade. But you got to meet the requirements. So grades is just a small portion of that. But again, that's like every day it's brand new information. They're shocked to learn this, and it's just extremely frustrating that I personally, for a fact, have said the same reminders every day, every period. So 7 times a day, sometimes multiple times in the same period, because again, what? I didn't know what already. It's extremely frustrating. So imagine that, but like every day, all the time. I've been trying to grade a major grade that was due last week. I have 2 more classes I have to grade. And it's like the students are either doing really well because they followed the directions, they have everything they need, and they're getting like high A's. Or it's the exact opposite. The middle ground doesn't seem to exist. And that's just like an accurate representation of what I see too in classes. Because, a class of 28 kids, there are some that are going to be like on top of their work, wanting to do well, doing the best they can. They're trying to prepare themselves for high school, and they want good grades. And then you have the opposite. Students who don't care, students who are apathetic, honestly. So they don't care, like they think it doesn't matter. Like, they're just going to get passed anyway, so why do I even do this? Some kids don't even bother turning work in, and then they're always surprised why they're failing, and then they'll be like, well, do you have any extra credit? I haven't even done the original credit. Why would I give you extra credit? You want your grade to go up? Turn in your missing work. But anyway, so I've been grading these projects, and some of them are pretty painful to look at, because like I laid out these directions. They had 3 days of class to make a 7-slide PowerPoint. And I even said, if you want to use another software, that's fine too. I broke it down. I showed them what needs to be on each slide, what I'm looking for, how many points each slide is worth. And so I'm following this rubric. And they know that. They saw the rubric from day 1. And I even said, I had written reminders. You better believe, when we spent 3 days of class time working on this, verbal reminders like, before you click submit, check over your work, make sure you have all this part. I even focused on like certain sections of the instructions every day. Like, all right, y'all, today we're focusing on slides 3, 4, and 5. Like, let's focus and make sure these are done. Get all the garbage that was submitted. And some of it was submitted late on top of that. Like, it's very frustrating because my class is a high school credit. You need to have a passing average at the end of the semester to get that credit. And sometimes I feel like I care more than some of the students. And then I have to ask myself, why? I already passed 8th grade. I've already graduated high school. I am laying this out for them. I seriously am wondering, like, I don't think I can make this any easier. And they're still just like, I don't feel like doing that. Or they turn in something and it's like partially completed. And then they're upset why they didn't get 100. Well, A, it was late. And B, you did 2 of the 7 slides. In what world would that equal 100? Honestly. I tried telling them, like, if you are an adult and you have a job and you are being given a specific task to do, or you're in charge of some report or whatever the case is at your work, like your boss, your manager has assigned something you to do it, and you don't do it correctly or completely, are they going to be okay with that? No. So, headed home to hopefully grade the last 2 classes, among other grades I need to put in. But I guess the whole point of this is, it's just really disheartening because I put a lot of effort into this to try to help them be successful, and I know other teachers do too in their courses, but the apathy is just off the charts. And then I try to think back, I'm like, okay, when I was their age and I was in this grade, like, there's no way I would have been okay with getting a failing grade on any assignment. Or I wouldn't have been okay with just like barely squeaking by with like 70, 71 average. There's no way. I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. It just really makes me wonder, and I worry, like, going forward, 9th grade, 10th grade, the rest of high school, life after high school, how are they going to be successful? Like, I remember when I was growing up, I would look forward to high school. I would look forward to graduating and going to college, or look forward to finishing college and like going somewhere on my own. But a lot of these students just say that they're just going to be a YouTuber, or they're going to be a social media influencer, which I'm aware that is a job. Some people have that. But even when I follow up with, oh, you're gonna do like YouTube stuff, that's cool. When you make a channel, do you think maybe in high school it would be a good idea, like maybe consider doing like audio video production classes? They're like, no, why would I do that? You just said you want to be a YouTuber, right? Like, you're gonna create content and share with people and try to get people to watch. Yeah, I was like, so camera skills might be helpful, right? They look at me like I'm crazy. Or I'll even ask them, oh, you want to be a YouTuber? Well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm just going to have a bunch of subscribers and people are going to, okay. But like, you still have to create some sort of videos or content that people want to watch. It doesn't happen like magically overnight. What are you doing? Like, how are you going to distinguish yourself and your channel from other things that people could watch? Again, they look at me like I'm crazy. So, I don't know. And so when I keep questioning them, they realize they don't actually have an idea of what they're going to make for YouTube or Instagram or fill in the blank, right? Whatever social media. They'll just be like, oh, well, it's fine. I'll probably just go to the NBA instead. Do you play basketball? No. Okay. Step one. If you want to be in the NBA, that's awesome. I hope you are. But you gotta start playing basketball. It might be helpful to be on some sort of team, whether it's in school, outside of school, like whatever. Usually, people who are in the NBA have also been on the basketball team in high school. And then, if they're really good, they get a scholarship for college to play basketball in college. And typically, that's how most people are drafted into the NBA. There's a certain order to things that almost always happens. They don't. Again, that's like brand new information. Step one, pass 8th grade. Yeah, I figure out your step one, and you gotta do it.